Hey everyone, here it is, the new Batmobile. It's a big deal, or at least it would be if it was canonical in any way, but it's not, because it's from the Lego Batman movie, which is basically parody. And yeah, this thing is absolutely huge. It's ridiculous, it's ludicrous, it's funny, and I think it's cool. Right from the front, there's a very menacing look to the whole thing. It's very heavy metal. This is actually a sticker here, not a printed piece, unfortunately. Lots of lights are facing towards you, not actual lights, but simulated lights. Some of these can be slightly angled up and down if you want to alter them just a bit. Kind of nice little layering going on there. As you move back towards the rear, you will start to see some interesting parts and or recolors of parts. So these are the relatively new, actually very new macaroni pieces that have been slightly redesigned, and these are in gunmetal gray. They've also used some of the ingot pieces around this build in black. You see a couple of them there. Nice little hood scoop here. This actually looks like it's got a little bit of NACA duct kind of design going to it almost. This is a nice color, a very useful color for this wide windscreen piece, which will certainly make its way into some custom neoclassic space mocks from some various creators, I'm sure. This is a relatively new piece right here with the kind of tooth shape to it, a 1x1 tile that's in light gray. I've got some hubcaps on here. This is a sticker. There are very few things in this set that are done with prints, but I will point them out. These are the astromech, Star Wars astromech heads, and they're done in black. These are new pieces. I've never seen these before. You can actually angle these fins up and down, so get just a little bit of customization to the look of the thing. You can consider it to be tuning related. You can bring these up, you can bring them kind of forward, just kind of change the personality of the thing. I think that is encouraged here because there's some other things that you can change around that I'll show you in just a minute after we finish up with the back. Big old thruster, and several thrusters, and one of them is pretty obviously intended to do something. That one right there in the center, it's kind of just talking to you, saying push or turn this, do something with this. Well, all that actually does is pop the roof. So I'm going to turn it right now. Just, oops, wrong way. There we go. Depending upon how you set it up, it'll pop it one way or the other. But yeah, it just pops the roof off, which starts to give you access to the cockpit, but it's really not enough to get into the figures. To properly get in there, you do need to remove this windscreen, which does have stickers on there. So if you want one of these that's just plain, it's good that they did these markings with stickers because you can just leave them off. There's enough room in the cockpit to hold both Batman and Robin with their capes on without crinkling them up. That's very important to me, and I was very happy to see that. Part of the mechanism for popping the roof off features a very precious, transparent, clear, pure, clear, crystalline looking Borak eye. Wow, that is a nice one to get. See, this just moves back and forth, and it's just going to push against this curve on the underside that's built under there of the roof, and it just causes it to pop off. And that's why, depending upon where you set this, if it's over here, then you need to turn it this way. If it's over here, then you need to turn it this way. Now you can't really see them here, but those gray parts right there in the center, right there, those are 2x2 plates that are new, 45-degree angle. Yeah, 2x2, and they have the little notches at the ends, or flat spots, flat spots at both ends. So that's a brand new piece for 2017, and that shows you how they're inserted in there. Finishing up with the cockpit, there are a couple of 1x2 cheese slopes with stickers on them. There are a couple of buttons over on Robin's side, and here you see even more of these ingot pieces in black. Now, on either side of the cockpit, you will find one of these stud shooters, which shoots out metallic studs, and they give you some extras of those. So just a total of 2 of those, but nothing else on this actually shoots at all, which is surprising. Instead, the main dynamic feature of the entire set is the ability to move the wheels around relative to the body and frame of the Batmobile. You can bring these up. Yeah, you can do one at a time if you want to make it look like it's doing the lowrider bounce, but the idea is that it's got the racing mode, and then it has the monster truck mode, where it's all raised up so much like that, which looks pretty silly, which is absolutely intentional. Gives you a lot of ground clearance just down the center. Not really any more ground clearance around the edges whatsoever. It doesn't change the shape of anything in here. It's silly, but I really do appreciate that. You can make it lean forward like this, kind of go halfway with it if you want, but there is one other major official mode to this. I'm sure that by now you've seen these very large hinges on the front. It has them on the back as well to rotate these around. You figure you use this in conjunction with this or something to put it into a flight mode or something. No, no, you just do that. You bring these here and you do like that. This is parallel parking mode. Just allows them to come up to a parking space and then drive straight in, and perfect. All done. Bring the wheels back if you want to. Make it look like, you know, nothing happened. It's just a cheat mode to help them to parallel park this huge Batmobile. Here's the standard version, standard mode, standard outfit for the Lego Batman Movie version of Batman. This is a new utility belt piece. My set actually came with a spare of that piece as well. The yellow piece just goes between the hips and the torso there. And this is the nice flexible style of cape, so you can flip that up and see the print on the back of Batman's torso very easily. Not so with Robin. His is the relatively stiff version. It's not the most stiff. It's like the one that they used for Vision, I believe. It's got a little bit of flexibility to it, so it doesn't kink up too much, and it has a little bit of metallic finish on one side. Only on one side, not on both sides. Now this here is, well, these two actually are two of the few printed pieces in the entire set that I mentioned. So you got the Bat merch gun there, and it also has the cap on the front of it. This is a new piece for Robin with the googly eyes, and unfortunately that all just comes together with the hair, but you know, it's supposed to represent the goggles that he has on, so you can take that off and see his normal happy face. Speaking of faces, check that out. What they've done with Batman, no white headband. I'm very happy about that. I've never been comfortable with the white headband version, so they've given him slits for eyes, which I personally prefer. He also has an alternate form, and Robin also has an alternate version. He's got some print on the back of his torso as well, and I'll just cheat a little bit here. So let's see what the faces look like with the headgear on. So just imagine that. There we go. Man-Bat has returned in Lego form, although he's looking surprisingly familiar. I would have expected a redesign for this movie, but they pretty much just brought back what we're familiar with already. And then on the right are the Kabuki twins, which are appropriately identical figures. Man-Bat still has his alternate face for when he is caught or when he's being chased down and is trying to escape. Surprisingly for me, the highlight of this entire set, as large as it is the collection of parts that it includes. You got these, you know, the macaroni pieces and these black shield style pieces, lots of the black ingot pieces as well. These are new, you know, some recolors, getting some more of these as well. These wheels and stuff, just, it's a really good parts pack. This is also the set to get for the main version of Batman and the main version of Robin that we saw since the very first teaser trailer. You know what I like least about this Batmobile? That's really the lack of stuff to shoot. Just these two little stud shooters on the side. I would have expected that for something this ridiculous and, you know, purely made for the fun of it and the insanity of it, I would have expected it to have a giant cannon that goes down the entire length of the whole thing that just shoots out one big old projectile, but none of that. So, you know, you're able to bring the wheels up and down. That's good. Bringing the wheels side to side is a very limited gimmick. only being able to shoot just these two little studs at any time, I don't know, a little bit of a letdown for me. Even though this is the Batmobile, it's definitely not a must-buy for DC Comics fans. And that's just because this Lego movie is just so far out of universe. It's essentially a licensed parody. Fun build though, and definitely a very good parts pack, and I'm sure that a lot of kids will enjoy this thing because of its size and its craziness. Take a moment, if you will, to share a comment with myself and the rest of the viewers with your thoughts and what you think about the Batmobile and this set on the whole. Thanks for your time, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.